criminally underrated 1970s saloon car. That's what people are saying about this these days, and I'll be honest, I agree. So allow me to elaborate. Hello and welcome to the Triumph Dolomite 1300. Yes, today I have the keys to this. It's a 1980 Triumph Dolomite 1300. And avid viewers among you will notice one of two things. This isn't a car from the 1970s. As I said, it's a 1980. But also that I've already had a look at a Triumph Dolomite. But that was an 1850 HL, an entirely different kettle of fish. So today I'm going to have a proper in-depth look at this, the 1300, and examine its place in the current classic car lineup and ask myself, is it really a criminally underrated classic saloon car? So let's find out and crack on. The Triumph Dolomite was introduced to the public in 1971, though production didn't properly start and sales roll through the door until 1972, due to strike action, which I'm sure you'll be very surprised about being a Triumph from the 1970s. The Dolomite completed Triumph's small car lineup and filled the gap of being a small but somewhat executive feeling saloon car. It was a lovely little thing and remained largely unencumbered by competition for a good few years, selling well, with over 200,000 being sold overall throughout production, which spanned right the way through until 1980. The Dolomite was sold exclusively with an 1894cc Triumph Slant 4 engine for the first few years of production before the 1500 came into play, and then this, the 1300, in 1975. The 1300 had one crucial job to do, take over from the now aging and very basic Toledo, and it did it rather well. It kept a lot of the classic Toledo qualities, including these iconic square headlights. That's how you can differentiate this from a higher spec or bigger engined Dolomite. But it had a more executive feel than a Toledo. It had some quality materials inside and was overall a more concise and quality package. There's very little not to like in here, in my opinion. There's lots of brown, this being from the 1970s or 1980. I've got brown seats, I've got brown carpet, I've got brown door cards, lots of brown, and that's a thumbs up from me. But it is a slice of old England in here. I've got wood finish trim, I've got Smith's gauges, a tri-spoke steering wheel with Dolomite embossing. There's very little not to like in that respect. It's a lovely place to be. It's a good size. You can get 5 human beings with legs and everything in here, and the previous owners of this particular car even used it to ferry around their rather large dog, which is probably why it smells so musty in here. Overall, I think it's a decently equipped car for the era. Yes, it's somewhat basic, but you've got a heated rear screen, demisting, wipers, the things you'd need to use it every day. Stick a 12-volt power socket in, and you could really keep it up as a modern, usable, everyday car, in my opinion. There's very little not to like in here. So, the little 1300 or 1296cc 4-cylinder engine, I think it's a gem of a thing. It's a high revving, fun, decent power output little unit. You get around 63 brake horsepower, a top speed of just over 90 miles an hour, which is more than you need. For a city car, it's perfect, and it can keep up with modern traffic, in my opinion. It's relatively reliable, though it does get a little bit louder at higher speeds with the short ratios of the 4-speed manual gearbox. But taking it up and down the road, I didn't notice it too much. Overall, these are great little units. They're endlessly reliable, and if something does go wrong, parts are still cheap and in good supply. There's a wealth of aftermarket support for these sort of things, so it's very easy to keep one on the road. It's a great little engine, this. Well, we've had a look inside and out the Dolomite. That leaves one very important thing to do: drive it. So, we've got the little dolly out on the road. What's it like to drive? Well, it's no sprint, there's no getting around that, but the 1300 engine is a respectable little unit and it's getting me along the road quite well. I don't feel a distinct lack of power compared to a sports model. Obviously at top end you would notice it, but this is still a fun little revvy engine. I'm keeping up with modern traffic quite comfortably. I'm doing about 40-50 miles an hour, and it doesn't feel like the engine's particularly struggling. Even with this 4-speed manual box, I expected it, when I got up to the sort of more top-end modern speeds, to be screaming its lungs out. But, to be honest, it doesn't sound like it's struggling. It feels very contained and comfortable. It's It's no track queen, but it is oddly dynamic. I can put it into a corner and it feels quite tight and solid. I don't feel particularly vague or loose. Skinny little tyres, tiny wheels, and a lightweight package is always going to be fun, and that really is case in point with this Dolomite. Quite a nice little throaty exhaust note there. I must say, this particular car has something in this rear seat cushion that is digging into my spine with some serious ferocity. It's getting quite uncomfortable. I'm sort of almost leaning forward. I daren't accelerate too hard because I'm going to end up leaning back and stabbing myself. The previous owners of this particular car actually used to daily drive it in central London, and I think it's a car that is very much capable of that sort of thing. The clutch is nice and light, the steering has a little bit of weight to it, but is definitely manageable, and it's small, it's easy to zip around in, it feels a happy little zippy car. I think it'd be easy to park, my visibility is pretty good overall. I have very little complaints, to be honest, with this thing. For a usable classic city car, I think the Dolomite is something you should really consider. Especially this little 1300. Cheap to run, endlessly reliable, but still a good level of fun along with it. So, the Triumph Dolomite 1300. Is it criminally underrated? Do I agree? What's my opinion? Well, overall, I think yes, that is true. It's a very good car in a smart little package. It's fun to drive, it's revvy, it's engaging, it's enjoyable, it put a smile on my face, and I think it's a smart looking thing overall. Yes, it's not the most powerful and it's not the fastest, but if you're not doing masses of miles or longer distances, I don't think you're really going to notice. It's more than capable of keeping up with modern speeds in and around town and on slightly faster B roads, so there's very little to complain about in that respect. They're very good value for money at their current price point, I think, as well. You can get a good one for around £2,000 to £3,000, which I think is an incredible amount of car for the money. The market's in a very good place at the moment, and I think if you want something like this, now's the time to buy, because it's only probably going to shoot up if you give it too much time. Yes, it is a little bit bland and a little bit uninspiring overall, but I think this has a place in the heart of a young classic car enthusiast, someone looking to get into that world. It's a perfect car for something like that. It's not got enough power that you're going to do any real damage to yourself, but you still get that iconic classic car experience, and it will be decently reliable. If you're in your 20s and looking to get into classic car ownership, give one of these a serious look, because it will probably be cheap on insurance too. It's a nice little thing, this. Thank you very much for watching the video review of this lovely little Triumph Dolomite. I do hope you've enjoyed. And if you like this sort of thing, please check out our other video reviews. And remember, if you have a classic car to sell, get in touch with us at classiccarbuyer.co.uk. We'd love to hear from you. Bye-bye.